So I've just popped together a few questions from people on the group. And the first one was about the PCED form that the NMC send us, Simon. So that's the form that they send us for your first response and first amount of information with all your indemnity, your employers, etc. And the question that we get asked a lot on there is, should I disclose an employer if it's not a nursing role? What would your answer to that?
Okay, my answer to that would be, as ever, it depends on each specific case. My understanding and the idea is generally you should only need to tell them information that they are allowed to have, and that information is your present nursing regulatory bodies. So if you are working for a employer as a nurse, then you need to inform the NMC of that. So working on the basis that you only should tell them what they need to know, my suggestion would be the basic idea is simply that you tell them simply those what jobs that you are doing
Yeah.
that are related to nursing. However, if it's helpful on a case by case basis, you could either inform them of the employer or inform the NMC of the general work that you're doing.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, if you are going to later on say that I have worked in an allied capacity, then it might be useful to have a history of it.
So like a support worker role, because that might actually
Yeah,
help show transferable skills, mightn't it? So
you would
yeah,
only do it if it was helpful to you.
yeah.
So case by case basis.
Okie dokie. Thank you very much. Next question is medical exams. So quite often, if there's an issue around drug or alcohol, or psychiatric illness, the NMC will ask for consent to send the registrant to another practitioner to be assessed. And a lot of them say, I don't know whether I want to consent to this. I don't know whether I should. Can I consent to part of it? So, for example, with drug testing, can I consent to hair and nail samples, but not another part of it? So again, I know it's case by case, but what would you say to that?
Yeah, of course, I'm going to say case by case basis. However, I would also say it's a very sensible question because the NMC do not always get it right. So, the very first thing I would do if I was faced with a requirement to undergo medical examination is to question it.
Yeah,
Two areas. Firstly, if they are considering health issues, that's something that you need to consider very carefully because that means that that could interfere with your PIN and ability to work. So you need to look at that very carefully. And secondly, if it's part of a series of allegations, generally there has to be some logic to it. So rather than just slavishly accepting the NMC's request for medical examination, I would suggest that you look at it carefully and say, is it logical?
yeah.
Is there a reason for it? And if there's no reason for it and it's just a fishing expedition, then no. Make your uh, make your
Yeah.
issue clear. But in general, it will be the right thing to do. But just check it.
Surely it's got to be proportionate as well, isn't it? It's like, because I mean, the
Yeah,
forms that they send out are quite general, aren't they? And they sort of
yeah,
tick every box possible. But surely you should be able to say, well, I'll agree to that bit, but I don't really think that bit's appropriate. Or,
yeah, yeah. You would look at what they've done because they don't always get it right. You've got to mark them or check them to make sure that they have done it right. So yeah, I agree. That's a
there
good
might
point.
be things in your medical history that you're not trying to be dishonest, but it's not appropriate that it's
Yeah,
disclosed to them, about things that have happened in your personal life and things. So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And you can always exclude that.
Yeah. Okay. Lovely. If I can't get a job as a nurse, will an HCA, care assistant, or support worker role help me?
Simple answer is yes. It will always help to be working in an allied profession. So it is the regular problem that we always find in this area is that once allegations are laid against a registrant, the difficulties increase in finding paid employment in your chosen profession. So if you can't do it in chosen, what tends to happen, if you can get an allied job, then the employer can see how you work and is then more predisposed and better disposed to giving you a full-time role as a registrant with
Yeah.
practice. So yeah, it definitely will help, and it will also help because you may be able to access free courses, and also it's keeping you doing allied work. So definitely
Yeah. It's that transferable skills again, isn't it? And just
variable skills.
if
Yeah,
it's about working with others and communication and how you interact with other people, it's all going to help, isn't it?
and it shows mitigation, remediation, and intention to get back and
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Next question. What does it mean when the NMC summons or say they will summons a witness to attend a case? What's involved with this? And if the witness doesn't attend, will this help my case? What can I do about it?
right. Well, this is a thing that happens more frequently than we realise. It is up to the NMC to prove the case. Their job is to lay allegations uh, in front of you that you need to answer. In order to do that, they have a duty to provide the best evidence they can. So the best evidence is a live witness who can witness and attend and attest to what the NMC suggest are your allegations or failings.
Mm.
To a certain extent, that helps because if a live witness attends, then that witness can be questioned and his or her days and events can be subject to scrutiny. The problem comes when the witnesses don't want to go.
Yeah.
It happens not too infrequently. There is an idea in law that a forced witness is not particularly a suitable one. Barristers, advocates will always tell you that they never ask a question that they don't know the answer to.
Yeah.
So all witnesses have got to be considered carefully. If it's hostile, then you don't know what the answer is going to be to questions. So if a witness says, I'm not coming, and doesn't give very good reasons why, the NMC will sometimes force them to come. Sometimes the NMC will say, we tried to get this witness to come, and the answers they gave as to why they wouldn't have come led us to believe that they wouldn't be a good witness.
Mm.
The answer is to scrutinise it carefully. A good question again, because a witness that might not help the NMC might help the registrant. The problem, of course, comes if that registrant's witness turns up and doesn't assist.
Yeah.
So it's something that's got to be carefully considered.
Because part of our code of conduct is that we must always comply with investigations and audits. And
Yeah.
so if that, I think the frustration from registrants is when that person is a registrant
Yes.
and they're having to be upheld to their code of conduct because they're going through FTP, but then
Yes.
the witness refuses to attend and the NMC don't necessarily do anything about it. But I guess what you don't want is to be in this whole circle of prosecution and not actually getting to the bottom of what's really going on. So I think
Yeah.
that's quite a frustration for people, really.
Well, don't forget that this is a quasi-legal proceedings,
Yeah,
and quasi there are two sides to it. There is somebody placing allegations against a registrant, and the registrant putting forward their response to it. And in amongst that, there's a live witness. Quite often, in experience, anecdotally, the NMC will try to get a witness to attend, and whether or not that witness is a registrant, nothing will happen if that registrant witness will not attend, does not attend. And quite often, the reasons they give can be quite interesting, spurious, and perhaps useful to the registrant, but
yeah,
this won't be forced to come. Problem, of course, is with anybody attending a hearing, you don't know what they're going to say, even however prepared they are and you are, and however their written witness evidence goes, you don't know what they're going to say. So there's always the chance that any witness can surprise you. So the problem has got to be looked at very carefully, because a witness who is attending under duress is less well disposed to answering questions.
Right. So
So
is it better sometimes that the witnesses for the NMC don't attend?
quite often it can be, because then less can be laid at the door of that witness for the panel to support it. It's
Yeah.
got to be done very carefully, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.